It is a natural gift we often pray for as a blessing from the skies. But as we speak today, this blessing has curdled into a catastrophe, leveling property and claiming lives.
This tragedy didn't strike without a warning. It follows a trail of grand promises and thunderous applause regarding the overhauls of Nairobi's aging drainage system.
Well, as the 2027 polls loom on the horizon, those unfulfilled pledges have transformed into bitter thoughts and deep-seated regrets for a city underwater.
The finger-pointing has already begun, and the questions on everyone's lips is, who carries the burden of blame? Is this a failure of the national government or Nairobi County administration?
Well, even as the debate intensifies, familiar comparisons have already resurfaced. Many are left wondering whether Kenya can really scale the heights of a world-class city like Singapore, or are we forever anchored political rhetoric?
Today we dive deeper into stories beneath our headlines and demand answer for a city in crisis. I'm Masingeri.
And I'm Alpha Soita. This is the weekly news roundup, and first we take a look at the highlights. In the weekly news roundup today,
hawezi maliza leo. Imagine if they pump this water out of here for 4 days.
Nights of fury. Deadly ruins devastate Nairobi, leaving dozens dead and families in ruins. Also,
ina promote masipitali kuchukua pesa kwa walimu ambao ni cash payments mingi sana. SHA yenyewe pia masipitali ambao zinafanya kazi ni chache kwa walimu.
Health crisis in the classroom. KUPPET issues 7-day strike ultimatum over SHA medical wars. And elsewhere,
every part of Kenya, we want to grow the digital jobs infrastructure and grow the jobs from the 330 to 1 million jobs next year.
Bondo's digital leap. President Ruto tours Siaya amid political ripples. And the Khamenei dynasty. Tehran appoints slain leader's son amid regional war. Welcome. 42 people were killed in the torrential rains that rained and flooded Nairobi, submerging the streets of the city on Friday night. This is after it rained for 6 hours continuously.
The downpour in Nairobi made families to sift through the wreckage of their swept-away belongings. As this continues, Kenyan authorities are on the edge to continue with the rescue operation.
And our reporter Valerie has the report for us. Let's take a look.
The severe rainfall that occurred on Friday night in Nairobi has claimed the lives of 42 people and left many others trapped in flooded neighborhoods. The heavy downpour caused rivers and drainage system to overflow, submerging homes, roads and businesses across several parts of the city. Emergency respondents and local authorities have been working tirelessly to rescue residents who are stranded in the affected areas. The intense rainfall triggered widespread flooding, which in some areas swept away vehicles and disrupted traffic near the country's largest airport. Transportation was severely affected as major roads became flooded and impassable. Hundreds of residents were also left stranded after roads became impassable in the wake of the flash floods. As the floods affected, victims are struggling to rebuild their lives and slowly putting everything back together. Kenyan authorities, on the other hand, are intensifying their rescue and relief operations. Reporting for the weekly news roundup, I'm Valerie Achen.
A race against time and the battle of budget has kicked off. As the long rains arrive, farmers are heading back to the fields, but many wondering if they can afford even to plant.
And from the soaring input prices to the government's new subsidy lifeline, Flosian has filed a report looking at how farmers are striving to keep their food baskets full this year. Let's take a look as she reports.
Farmers across the country are currently facing mixed fortune as the agricultural sector continues to experience both opportunities and challenges. In many rural areas, farmers have begun preparing their land for the upcoming planting seasons, following the onset of the long rains. Agricultural experts are encouraging farmers to adopt modern farming techniques, such as the use of proper fertilizer application and irrigation.
This is where the farmers come to see the new technologies, not only the seeds, but also the new technologies that are developed by CARO and stakeholders and other stakeholders in the agricultural field who come here to exhibit and show their technologies.
However, several farmers have raised concern about the rising cost of farm input, such as fertilizer and seeds. Many say that the high prices are making it difficult for small-scale farmers to maintain productivity.
Na wote Kenya mzima niwahakikishia kwamba tuna mbegu ya kutosha.
The government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, has announced new measures aimed at supporting farmers, which include fertilizer subsidy program.
Agriculture has remained a pillar of country's economy, providing employment and food for millions of people. Reporting for Weekly News Roundup, I'm Flosian Awi.
And now moving on to matters health is that the government is pushing back on the critics about the Social Health Authority SHA system, with the Public Health PS Mary Modhoni saying that it is a work in progress. But is it working for the patients?
Rome wasn't built in a day, and Kenya's SHA system isn't going to fix overnight. This is the message from the government as they defend health programs across the country.
Before, NHIF used to have only 20% coverage of the people who used to have insurance. So this is a great moment for Kenya. And I'm asking all Kenyans to register through *147# so that they are able to benefit from the insurance cover that we have has more benefits for all.
Speaking during a media briefing, Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Modhoni defended the progress of SHA, saying that the program is still young and undergoing improvements. The PS noted that when the system was first introduced, dialysis for patients experienced several challenges, including delays in approvals and access to treatment. However, she says those issues have largely been resolved and that the government streamlined operation within the new healthy financing framework. Mary Modhoni emphasized that the reforms in the health sector take time, comparing the development of social health authority system to the famous frame that Rome was not built in a day. She added that the government continues to work with hospitals and stakeholders to ensure services run smoothly and that patients receive the care they need without interruptions. As the government continues refining the social health authority system, officials maintain that the reforms will ultimately strengthen Kenya's health care financing and improve access to critical services such as dialysis for patients across the country.
As the government continues refining the SHA system, the officials maintain that the reforms will ultimately strengthen Kenya's health care financing and critical services such as dialysis for patients across the country. Reporting for Weekly News Roundup, I'm Janet Kerub.
Well, still on matters SHA in as far as education is concerned, the tension is rising in the Kenyan education sector as KUPPET issues a 7-day strike notice to the government. The union claims that teachers are being turned away from hospitals due to the failures within the Social Health Authority, despite monthly deductions.
And as charity reports, while the government maintains the system is fully operational, union officials warn that if reimbursement delays and the system glitches aren't resolved within a week, secondary school teachers nationwide will withdraw their services.
Teachers across Kenya have issued a fresh strike threat over challenges with the Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers, commonly known as KUPPET, regarding medical services under the Social Health Authority SHA. Say many teachers are struggling to access treatment in hospitals despite continued deduction for medical coverage. According to the Union Secretary General Akelo Misori, the system has been facing major challenges including limited hospitals accepting the cover, delayed payments to medical facilities and frequent system failures.
Ina promote masipitali kuchukua pesa kwa walimu ambao ni cash payments mingi sana. SHA yenyewe pia masipitali ambao zinafanya kazi ni chache kwa walimu. Na SHA yenyewe pia malipo yake hayadhibiti medical cover. And we shall not allow this.
The union has now issued a 7-day ultimatum to the government and the Teacher Service Commission to address the crisis. Union leaders warn that if the issues are not resolved within the given period, teachers may withdraw their services, potentially disrupting learning in secondary schools across the country.
We are now sure that with this kind of assurance, our teachers will have seamless engagement with the health facilities.
However, government officials have dismissed claims that the teachers are being denied treatment, maintaining that the SHA system is operational and capable of providing medical services to registered members.
As tension rise between the government and teachers' union, the coming days will be crucial in determining whether dialogue will prevail or if Kenya could face another national teacher strike. Charity Adom.
Well, thank you, Charity, for that nice report. We'll now take a short commercial break. We'll play the dialogue right back.
Happy Ramadan Kareem.
Happy Ramadan.
Happy Ramadan Kareem.
To all our Muslim brothers and sisters across the globe, we as the Extra Mile Media do wish you a happy Ramadan Kareem season.
Ya Habib, Ramadan, Ramadan.
Welcome back. Preparation for the 2026 Student Organization of Kibabi University SOC election are underway following the completion of the vetting process of the aspiring candidates for different positions.
Well, campaigns have now kicked off after launch on 13th with the election being scheduled to be conducted on 27th March. As our reporter Barbara reports.
The student body at Kibabi University is buzzing with excitement as the upcoming student leadership election approach. Candidates are gearing up to contest for various positions including the Student Union President, Secretary General and faculty representatives. Following the dissolvement of the 8th SOKU leadership led by President Victor Kipchumba Koech, who was sworn in April 2025. Interviews for the 9th SOKU Electoral Commission were conducted by the Kibabi University administration around March 2026. Discussion on platforms indicate that students campaigning for the 9th SOKU leadership is gaining momentum, focusing on themes of liberation and competence for the upcoming voting periods, aiming to move away from previous political and perhaps tribalistic structures, with candidates aiming for the 27th March 2026 elections.
As campaigns are set to commence at Kibabi University, students are hoping for a peaceful election. Barbara Tracy, Weekly News Roundup.
And elsewhere, President William Ruto is a development tour in Bondo, Siaya County, headlined by the launch of the Siaya Community Digital Hub. The facility is said to bridge the digital divide, offering thousands of local youth a pathway into the global online job market.
Beyond technology, the president pledges billions of new roads, electric progress, and affordable housing, as Richard reports.
Bondo, Siaya County. President William Ruto makes his visit to Bondo, where he launched several development projects and met local leaders. During the visit, the president officially opened the Siaya Community Digital Hub, a project expected to create online job opportunities for young youths not only from Siaya, but also to youths in the entire country. He said the government is working to expand digital technology and improve employment opportunities across the country.
Every part of Kenya, we want to grow the digital jobs infrastructure and grow the jobs from the 330 to 1 million jobs next year.
And All Angels Cathedral, where he was hosted by Dr. Ida Odinga. While speaking to residents, Ruto announced several development plans for Siaya County, including road construction, affordable housing projects, new markets, and improvement in electricity supply. The visit also carried political significance from the broad-based arrangement including Dr. Oburu Odinga and Governor Gladys Wanga, who assured President Ruto that youth from Siaya will back him in the coming election. However, Siaya Governor James Orengo did not attend the event, highlighting political differences among leaders in the region. Reporting for Weekly News Roundup, I'm Richard Omondi.
Well, let's now talk matters business. The heavy rains that have hitting several parts of the country in the past 1 week have disrupted business activities in several parts of the country, especially Nairobi County.
The heavy rains have resulted into floods that have swept through the shops and supermarkets, leaving traders in the country with heavy losses.
Our reporter Wendy has more details.
Many supermarkets have been affected after the flood waters enter the stores, damaged stocks and destroying goods. Business owners say they have suffered major financial losses after their shops were flooded during the ongoing rains. Water swept through the stores, leaving goods damaged and some shops completely devastated. The floods continue to cause destruction across different parts of the country.
Inatu cost like 5,000 shillings per hour. Hawezi maliza leo. Imagine if they pump this water out of here for 4 days. Restaurant is full.
Both small and large businesses have been affected, forcing some owners to temporarily shut down their businesses.
The situation has been especially difficult for small-scale traders. Some portable businesses like kiosks and kibandas has been swept away by the flood, leaving many traders uncertain on how they will recover their losses. Reporting for Weekly News Roundup, I'm Maingo Renzi.
Now shifting our attention to the Middle East. Massive power shift continues to unfold in Tehran as Iran officials enter a new era under the shadow of widening regional conflicts.
While exactly 1 week after the stunning assassination of the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei in the joint US-Israel strike, the Assembly of Experts early this week made a move to solidify the regime's future, naming his son Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's ultimate future authority.
The appointment comes as the Revolutionary Guard pleads its full support of the new leader, even as strategic oil facilities come under fire and the threat of a full-scale regional war looms larger than ever before.
Our very own Hudson has more in detail. Let's take a look at the reports.
Tensions are arising in the Middle East following the assassination of Ali Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran. According to international reports, Khamenei was killed on 28 February 2026 during joint military strikes linked to the United States and Israel. The Assembly of Experts in Iran later appointed Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the late leader, as the new supreme leader on 8 March 2026, about a week after his father's death. Political analysts say the leadership transition comes at a time of growing hostility between Iran, Israel, and United States, raising fear that the conflict could expand into a wider regional war. Observers say the decisions taken by Iran's new leadership, together with responses from internal powers, will determine whether the crisis escalates or moves toward diplomatic negotiations. Reporting for Weekly News Roundup, my name is Malala Hudson.
Well, now with that report from Hudson, we join our very own Ignatius with updates from the fields.
Let's take a look. And as we conclude our today's bulletin, we are left with heavy realization that whether by the hand of nature or the will of man, the cost of failure is always paid in innocent lives.
But the parallel is haunting. From the flooded Nairobi city streets to the bombarded streets in Tehran and beyond, the story is just the same. Dreams shattered, property leveled, and mothers burying their children. It is now a stark reminder that whenever leadership fails, be it in urban planning or global statecraft, it is the common citizen who bears the burden of the calamity.
We hope for a tomorrow where promises are kept and the only noise we hear is that of progress, not the roar of flooded waters or thunder of missiles.
Well, thank you for joining us today in our weekly news roundup. We will continue to monitor both the rising tides at home and the shifting front lines abroad. Remember, you can always find these stories on our social media handles: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Telegram. My name is Alfayo Soita.
And I'm Masinjeri. From us here, the Extra Mile Media, stay safe, stay vigilant, and a very good Ramadan to all our Muslim friends and families.